Hey everyone in English 2323, Dr. E again. I'm here with a weekly instructional video. So every week throughout the semester there will be one of these where I just walk through what the expectations and the assignments are for the particular week. You should also be aware that there are likely going to be additional videos each week, but usually just one that walks through the readings and the ideas and those things we want to make sure that we're kind of paying attention to as we work through various decades and various authors and time periods in this the reading for English 2323 in British literature. So what I'm going to do is I'll pull up D2L and just walk through where to go and what to do for week one, okay? Please note that I'm in a particular section's class area, so if yours looks a little bit different, it's likely because you are not in that particular section, but don't freak out. The major things will always be similar and you'll always go to the same places to complete work. So in D2L, if you go up to the content area, right, go ahead and head to week one on the left-hand side. So you have these other resources that are always going to be there, but then week one is right here. And I will always work to copy and paste information from the actual schedule. So if you have the printed version of the schedule, this will look familiar, but I'll try to just, it's nice to have everything at a glance when you log in and take a look at what you need to work on that week. Please note that there are these check marks and this percentage, and that doesn't mean that the work has been submitted. So don't look at the check mark and go, oh yeah, I already did that. That just indicates that you've looked at a particular area. So if I click on the syllabus and it takes me to that information, I'm going to click back and you'll see that it's now check marked, right? So just keep that in mind. This is not indicating that you've completed the work. It just means that you've looked at it, okay? So for week one, on Mondays, I will always identify, here's what we have to do this week. So you'll watch the introduction video, right, which is just walking through D2L. At this point, you should have watched that by now. The weekly video, which is right now, and then the discussion post video. Additionally, I will have a syllabus and schedule video, so a few videos to watch. I know this week is a bit time intensive with videos, but that is just because we're getting used to things and because we don't have reading to accomplish, so that time that we would have put towards the reading is now just watching videos and getting familiar with the class, okay? Just keep that in mind. So the prompt is posted for the reading discussion. So every week on Thursday, we will have what's called a reading discussion post. So typically that's of course going to relate to our weekly readings, but this week, since we don't have those, we're just going to work on introductions. Okay, so don't be thrown by the title of that this week. So it's due by 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. Thursdays will always be when we have our posts due, and 11:59 p.m. is always going to be the due time. You can always work ahead, please do, if you have a crazy work or life schedule. And then you also have an email assignment, which I'll talk about in just a second. And you have a survey that you need to complete by Sunday, okay? So it shows here that on Thursday the 4th, the reading discussion post will be due by 11:59 p.m. It is worth 5 points. The email assignment is also due by 11:59 p.m. worth 5 points. We're starting small, right? It's the first week. We won't get into the more high points discussion posts and grades until you get used to the course and grading. Okay, and then by Sunday, you need to respond to 2 colleagues for the reading discussion. And for this week, because it is just introductions, I just want a couple of sentences that show that you read the introduction. Maybe there's some interest that you share with this other person. So read through a couple of the introductions or all of them, that would be great. And respond to at least 2 people where you can say something substantial, show that you've read their work. Please, y'all, hear me now. Do not just post something like, yeah, I agree, or hey, I like that too. Give more, right? We want it to be as if we were together discussing these kinds of things, okay? So respond accordingly. All right, and then you'll need to complete the survey by Sunday, and there is a SurveyMonkey link that will take you to that, and it is 10 points. The survey will take, maybe about 10 minutes, so set aside time for that beforehand. I want you to note that I've posted just a couple of things to help you along the way. And again, it may look different by the time you see this because I have another video that I need to include. So there's the syllabus and schedule video, which walks through the syllabus and schedule for the course. Because like I say in that, you have various syllabi and different schedules that you're dealing with, and I don't want the one for this course to confuse you because you have all those others that you're thinking about as well. So just review that video to walk through the expectations, policies, the grading for the course, as well as how to read the schedule. Again, the schedule looks just like this, right, this week, and then on the actual schedule it will show you. So if I pull this up just to revisit, because it was a quick bit at the end, there's always a section on for next week. Ooh, a section for next week. And please note that you need to know your section number depending on which course you are in, because the reading and the corresponding pages will be a little bit different. So if you look at the very top of D2L, I'm going to pull it up here at the top. Up here, it will show which section you are in. So something to, by, the second or third week, it's going to be second nature to you because you'll know which section you're in based on the pages, okay? And then if you look at week 2, it looks exactly the same, but it's going to reference these readings here and that video. And then we always have for next week to kind of get a look ahead. Okay. So just a kind of quick review, a revisit of the syllabus and schedule. The syllabus is located here, but it's of course also here in the whole section that contains those items. And this is where I will add readings. I'll add any of the things that you may need for the course. Okay. There's the online discussion post rubric. There will be a video specifically about that, but this is the grading rubric. This is a walkthrough of how to participate in discussions on D2L. So these are just helpful items to show you how to walk through if you're new to D2L. And then there is the email assignment. So if you click on this, it will tell you, I just want a test of you to make sure that you have a working email account, because sometimes in D2L, folks will try to send me something and their account isn't working, and it can take a couple of days for the Office of Technology Services to resolve that issue. So we want to make sure that we have that taken care of now, rather than when it's going to be a really important thing that you need to email me about. So I put the instructions here, let D2L auto-populate, which means to fill in automatically. In the body, let's practice a little professional or academic email etiquette. So I put to offer a greeting. So, dear Dr. E. For me, you can put something like, hey, Dr. E, or what's up, Dr. E. I am not a super formal professor, but please note that other professors may not be okay with that. So a dear or something like that is good. Then just something like, hi, this is a test, right? And then close your email with like sincerely. So we're just kind of practicing that. And y'all, this is practice so that whenever you email me, you follow that kind of model, right? So it's really helpful for me to know what class you're in. So having D2L auto-populate your subject line is going to be very helpful. But I also need some of that, like your closing, I need to be reminded of what nickname you prefer so that it's not, sincerely your full complete name. Put sincerely and your nickname so I know that that's something that you prefer. It just kind of drives that home. But it also will help me keep track of your emails and file them according to your actual class and section, and then I can find them pretty easily. Okay, so the directions are here, and then the help PDF, if you have some confusion, it has some screenshots there. Okay, so that's going to be due, like we have posted here, Thursday by 11:59 p.m. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's the email assignment. And then there's the week 1 writing post. Okay, this is the prompt. So it's pretty lengthy this time. They won't always be this long, but because we're working on introductions, I wanted to make sure I was explaining things. So if you click on that link, it will take you to the area. And I've just put various questions. It's just an introduction, but I also put, only share what you're comfortable with the class knowing. So don't overshare because this will be visible to everybody. So what is your name? How long have you been a student at Lone Star College North Harris? Some of you may be dual credit students, so you can share that here. What do you hope to get out of the class? For some of you, especially dual credit students, it's a required course. You have to complete it in order to graduate. It may be a part of your degree plan or an elective that you've chosen. So we need to look beyond that in terms of, what can we look forward to? Find something meaningful that's going to bring you back to the class every week other than, oh, it's a required course. Because if you have that mentality, it's going to be a struggle bus semester. So let's stay off the struggle bus and be successful here. So I put here, what are your hobbies? What do you want to share about? What are some things you're doing or would like to do in order to take care of yourself during this difficult and frustrating time? So are you trying to practice mindfulness? Are you doing yoga? Are you just finding some time on your own to take a walk and kind of get out of your head and not worry about things like COVID-19 and vaccinations and politics, right? So just looking at that, is there anything else you want to share? Any other interesting point or, whatever you care about? And then lastly, share a picture. And I put a document here that you can click on to in terms of how to do that, but I've also kind of walked through, save it to your computer, then click the little arrow. And then I put some reminders here about what's due when and a link to the survey. Note that if you click, I've put kind of an example here so you can click on it and see that I've just numbered it, and I put spaces between so that it doesn't look like one huge pile of text. You can differentiate between the different topics. And then I've put my image here with my explanation, which you can read on your own or just look at this as, an example. So that's the week number 1 writing post. So again, that's a reading discussion post, but it is a writing post. So don't be thrown off by the names. It's okay. And then by Sunday, you want to go in and respond to 2 colleagues and make sure that you've completed the survey. So if I go back to the post here, actually, you know what? I'm going to change the name of this to reading post just so it's not throwing any of you off. So if you see it after the video, it will be changed. Don't be thrown. But if you want to say respond to my post, you're going to go in and hit reply to thread. Okay. You don't have to change the subject line. That's fine. But you just type in what you want to type in and click post. Okay. So that's how you respond to one another in this specific thread. Okay. Once you get used to D2L, this is just going to be second nature to you, so don't worry about it. Okay, and then if you want to get a start on the readings in preparation for next week, if you look at the schedule, remember that you want to know whichever section you're in. So we need to read the Romantic Period Introduction, and that's pages 3 through 27 for both texts or both sections. And then we'll read Anna Letitia Barbauld's biography, which is page 31 to 32 in the shorter version and pages 40 to 41 in the longer version. And then we also want to make sure we're reading The Mouse's Petition. That's a brief poem. And then I want you to watch Chimamanda Adichie's TED Talk, which is entitled The Danger of a Single Story. So if you click on that, that will take you there. And that just gives us a really good perspective in terms of in terms of literature, we don't want to approach this class as though only the things and ideas and authors in this text or text that we're using, only those are important, right? There are several stories. There are stories that are missing. It's a part of what we are going to strive to kind of consider throughout the semester, that we're reading just one of several voices, right? That may have been communicating these ideas or sharing these ideas at the time, but some people were unable to get published, whether because of their racial identity, their gender, whatever the case may be. They may have been in a poor working class environment so that they didn't have access to learning, education, publishing. So her video just, I think, should open up the idea that there are several stories, right? There's not just a single story to any experience, situation, or life, okay? So for now, if you have any questions, you can always post in the Q&A area, or you can shoot me an email. But if I do receive any questions moving forward, I will definitely respond as soon as I am able, or I'll post in the Q&A area for everybody to see. All right, y'all, good luck this week and welcome to the course.